But, well, before it comes up, what I'd like to mention here is that what I'll be talking about in the next 10 to 12 minutes is about a program which was undertaken by the National Housing Bank in the area of residential housing. And this program turned out to be a success. It was more in the nature of a pilot project or something of an experiment with foreign assistance. And it turned out to be a success. The last disbursement, in fact, was used up only on 31st December 2013. And no, this is not the one. No. And because of the success, we have been enthused to continue with it, continue to have a scheme despite the foreign funding being over. We are thinking of going in for further foreign funding. I'll give you the details a little later in my presentation. And also to continue to upscale it in various ways. And what we are thinking in terms of capacity building in this sector. What I would like to mention here is that the National Housing Bank, its core competence is not in the area of energy. This is something that we took over as part of our, a kind of a corporate social responsibility kind of thing, towards our responsibility towards the environment, and how we had gone in for, we had approached, a development bank in Germany for funds, and how, as a result of that, the program has reached a stage where we feel it can be further launched forward. Yes? Can somebody help me with this? Yeah. No, I haven't brought it because it was uplinked. Okay, then I'll just go through it as a non-presentation, as a running kind of thing. Okay. So I've given you the background of what the program was all about. Now, basically, we are faced with a situation where there is increasing urbanization. The world population will reach somewhere around 9 billion by 2050. Then we are faced with a situation where right now, where the current urban population in the world is somewhere around 50%, it's going to go to 70% in 2050. Within India right now, it's 28.4%, 2013, likely to go up to about 40.8% by 2030, and by 2041, it would be 50%. So this obviously creates a very big, there are opportunities and there are threats. The threats here are what we are going to talk about more. The housing sector accounts for about 40% of energy consumption. And since, as Mr. Kumar mentioned, most of the housing stock is going to be built from now to the date which I mentioned, 2030 or 2041, where the population will explode, manifold in the urban areas, and there will naturally be a lot of demand for additional housing stock, which means more and more energy consumption. Now, energy efficiency in housing constitutes two things. One is the passive measures. Passive measures would include things which are related to the design, that is insulating the building material, then wall shading, then optimized natural lighting, reflective surface materials. And the active measures would be energy efficient appliances, energy efficient lighting, solar, water, heating, cooling, and ventilation systems. Now, we all know that, I think you may have heard in the earlier presentations, and Mr. Kumar also, in his opening remarks, also touched on it. This is that, basically, the green buildings have a lot of benefits to various stakeholders in the long run.
They've
You
got
see,
your presentation.
great.
So
And I'm sure here, how would I do it?
You have the remote.
Yeah. It should be moving. Anyway, to continue, the benefits to the developers. Yeah. I've gone through these. The benefits to the developers would be there would be saving in costs, both capital costs as well as operational costs. Capital costs may be due to, mainly due to design efficiencies. Operational costs mainly due to, lower maintenance, etc. There'll be less bulky ducting. There would be reduced construction time. Then to the landlords, in the long run, it could attract higher valuations and higher rentals. And to the occupant and the end user, there will be lower energy bills, there will be lower costs for water, and of course, fewer emissions and better health, etc., which we all know. Now, this has also been, it's very interesting that in 2007, the National Urban Housing and Habitat Policy, the new HHP, brought out by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Poverty Alleviation, enshrined this in the policy. So they set, some standards for the healthy environment, and for the first time, the word green and intelligent buildings was employed in policy. Now, the NHB is a statutory body. It is a wholly owned subsidiary of the Reserve Bank of India. It is a developmental financial institution. It is the apex authority for the housing finance sector in the country. So what we do is we have a multi-pronged approach. Not only are we the regulator and the supervisor of the housing finance companies in India, but we also have a promotional role for the development of the housing finance sector in the country, mainly the housing finance sector, and to a lesser degree in the housing sector as such. And we also provide refinance to primary lending institutions for their onward lending for retail housing. So this program, which we had launched along with our foreign assistance, combined actually both our refinance role as well as the promotional and developmental role. Now, this is the way we handle, the refinance and term finance, direct finance through term loans as well as through equity participation. Now, what we had done is we had entered into a partnership with KfW, which is a development bank in Germany, and which has a very, very successful track record of labeling and in energy efficiency in Germany. So going by their experience, this was a government-to-government initiative. The concerned government in Germany was the concerned ministry was the Federal Ministry for Cooperation and Development, and the concerned ministry here was the Department of Economic Affairs, the Ministry of Finance. And through the negotiations, it was decided that way back in 2008, that there would be an agreement between a development financial institution in India, namely the National Housing Bank, and the KfW, the development bank in Germany, for promoting energy efficient residential housing. This was the first of its kind in the country. Now, the line of credit was 50 million euros, which was first disbursed on 31st December 2010. And along with the financial assistance, there was also technical assistance component. The technical assistance component at that time consisted also of framing of a assessment tool to calculate the level of energy savings of energy efficient housing on a baseline, which was set at 18% for only passive measures and 30% energy savings against a benchmark building for active as well as passive measures. Now, this is the steps which were employed for implementing the program. There was a facilitator appointed to assist NHB because this was virgin territory for the NHB. This was something we were entering into for the first time. Then you had to identify the energy efficient projects. Those against the Fraunhofer-Terry assessment tool, flats in these projects which were meeting the 30% energy savings or 18% energy savings, whatever the case may be. Then we had to find out who are the retail institutions who are lending to persons who are home buyers of such certified flats. Then, of course, seeing whether they could be eligible for refinance from the NHB. And, of course, we had to get the borrower's information. And then they had to comply with the NHB, the reporting formats under the assistance. And to aid and assist the implementation of this project and to spread more awareness about this project, the technical assistance consultants, of which Terry was also part of the consortium, they designed a separate logo for this program to give it some identity. Then a website was also created. And the NHB also signed very strategic partnerships, MOUs, with the Indian Green Building Council and Adarsh, which are already having rating tools for some kind of alignment between the certification tool that we already had, and also to bring, since they had a wider knowledge, naturally more wider than the NHB would, of the projects which would come under this, which would fall under or be eligible for this program. So this helped us a lot in identifying the projects all over the country. Now, we're happy to state that the NHB has utilized the entire sanctioned amount of 50 million euros. This is equivalent to 381.53 rupees. And the projects are not just concentrated in Delhi, they are all over the country. There are 12 projects, 162 towers in Lucknow, Nagpur, NCR, Mumbai, Bangalore. And I believe it covers about 21,000 units. These towers are having over 21,000 housing units. And 2,065 individual loans have been refinanced by the NHB, and the institutions to whom we have given our refinance, that is those who have provided loans for houses in these, for energy efficient units in these energy efficient projects, are a mixed group of banks as well as HFCs. Housing finance companies, there's LIC Housing Finance, there's HDFC, there's Diwan Housing Finance, there's Tata Capital among housing finance companies, and there's Axis Bank and ICICI Bank among the banks. And the full-time TA consultant was appointed. This TA component will continue. You see, now we have already used up the money, but the TA will continue for another 1 or 2 years. That is because I'll come to that in the following slides. There are certain barriers to upscaling this whole program, and this is something that we would like to do. So, this is just a snapshot of the certification, and this is a photograph of a developer receiving a certification from me as well as the head of the KFW at that time, Mr. Van Malsen. The benefits, of course, were that there were reduction in energy usage, there was sustainable habitat, for people to live in. There was availability of funds. These were given at slightly concessional rates. It was given at the funds were given at a concessional rate by the KFW. Along with the hedging cost, it came to, if you add another 5% to it, there was a certain landed cost to this. And but what we refinanced was given at slightly concessional rates. We understand that some of the housing finance companies and the banks who I mentioned also gave funds at slightly concessional rates, though not all did. And what was very important was also that there is a ready-made assessment tool to help developers. Now, the barriers here were the lack of awareness about the program as such, and basically about energy conservation among all stakeholders, whether they be the builders or they be the lending institutions. Perception was there that this is expensive, huge upfront costs, without really calculating that the payback period is probably about 3 years or so. But you see, everybody looks at how much you have to invest initially. And maybe people thought it was a marketing ploy or a gimmick, and they were quite skeptical about it, and that there would be high maintenance costs. There were also a lot of lack of awareness about the government schemes. Government has come up with so many good schemes. The BEE as well as the MNRE have they've done a lot of good work in the commercial building space, and this also we found that there was not very much awareness of this. Now we need to upscale this. Scalability is very important. That's why we have continued with the scheme. We want to, in fact, we have now, we are in negotiations, and with the, the blessings of the DEA, we are applying for a €100 million line of credit from the KFW again. They're also enthused by the success of this, the ministry is, and we want to, that's still in an advanced stage of negotiations. But as I mentioned earlier, we want the TA component continues. So what we are, thinking now is that we should expand this. This was for new units, which are typically, the high-rise, middle-income type of housing. These are new units, so we want this to go to to existing housing units also. So for that, you see, the TA consultants have embarked also on a nationwide kind of program for holding seminars, workshops, roundtables, conferences. We had a very successful annual conference in November 2013. And I think, then what we need to do right now, and for which we are also entering, we are having, thinking of it in a very, actively, is, having some kind of a labeling or a branding program to lend credibility to the whole program. The certification is just, which we gave, which we showed earlier, is maybe not enough. It needs to, be converted into some kind of a labeling or a branding program where the NHB would probably lend its name, but for that we need to enter into strategic partnerships with the BE or with the MNRE or with all other IGBC, etc. This is not something that we can do alone. So this is something we are thinking of. So this is to summarize, what are the benefits from this. I have mentioned this earlier. Just to run you through a couple of the projects which, where the units got refinanced under this program. This is in Nagpur, the Sahara City Home. The savings of 26%, which this would have been both the passive and the active component. Then this is in Bangalore. This is BCIL said collective. This savings is 40%. Then this is again BCILZ Woods in Bengaluru, which is 33%. Then these are the 3C projects, Lotus Panache in Noida and the Lotus Boulevard. And this is, where is, this one is in Mumbai Hirko. Thank you.